Hey, what's up, Cowboys Nation? We are here in Indianapolis, Indiana for the 2024 NFL Combine. Nicole, Hutchison, your team reporter, alongside the DallasCowboys.com writer, Nick Harris, the one and only. It is a great day today because of two things. I mean, I've got to say it. It's my birthday.
Yeah,
so.
Let's go. Applause.
It's my birthday. It's my birthday, so we had to make today, obviously, a great day.
Yeah.
But it is also the kickoff for the 2024 NFL Combine. We got a chance to hear from a few coaches, a few members from the front office, but especially for the Dallas Cowboys. We got to hear from Stephon Jones, Executive VP of the Dallas Cowboys, and he had a lot of things to say today. Nick, what was one of your biggest takeaways?
Yeah, he talked for about 25 minutes, talked with a lot of topics with reporters. You can go look on DallasCowboys.com for the full rundown. But a couple of highlights, the Dak Prescott contract extension. It's one of the bigger headlines going into the offseason. With him entering the final year of his deal, it's a $59.4 million cap hit going into 2024. So the thought is to maybe restructure that contract, extend it out, and be able to add some extra years into Dak's deal. Now, Stephon Jones, he was very quiet and private about what those negotiations might be looking like right now. But he did say that he absolutely wants to re-sign Dak to that extension. That was the one bit of clarity he was able to offer. So those negotiations, he wouldn't say if they've begun, if they're ongoing, anything like that, or if he's meeting with Dak's representation this week. That was one of the questions. But nevertheless, it's definitely one of the bigger headlines, and it's still creeping as we get closer to free agency. That's going to be a big thing to watch. How much will the Cowboys have to spend in free agency? That's going to be a big answer solved out of the Dak Prescott contract extension.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be hearing a few more of that news coming over the next couple of weeks. But when you talk about what does that look like, that extension, you've got to also pay Micah, you've got to also pay CD. What does that look like as far as the next moves for these contract extensions? Yeah,
fortunately for the Cowboys, the NFL just set a record-setting league bump as far as the salary cap goes, $255.4 million they'll have to spend in the 2024 cycle. But then going forward past that, you mentioned it, extending CD Lamb. That's something that you look for this offseason that potentially gets done. Trayvon Diggs got done last offseason. This might be the offseason for CD Lamb. And then you also look at Micah Parsons. My personal projection is that his extension gets done next offseason, but you still have to factor these numbers in to when you're talking about Micah in the years to come. There's a reality out there where Dak Prescott is the highest paid quarterback, CD Lamb is the highest paid receiver, and Micah Parsons is the highest paid defensive player in the league.
Yeah, a lot of decisions, especially for this front office, as far as paying guys, but you also have 16 free agents coming up in the league year. Now, when you talk about a guy like Tony Pollard, right, that's also one of the biggest stories, that running back position. They didn't franchise tag him. So now you have to wonder, what are they going to do with Tony Pollard? Are they going to come out look in the free agency market? Are they going to draft a running back? But Stephon Jones actually said that Tony Pollard's a guy that they like, right? This is a guy that they said that they want to have in the locker room. It just comes down to the business. What do you think when you look around the free agency market? What do you see out there?
Yeah, Stephon Jones said that Tony had a great year in their eyes, being able to come off of that leg injury and still post a 1,000-yard season. That he was very complimentary of that. Not only what he brought on the field, but off the field as well. You talked about that leadership aspect. I think that's a big part whenever you're looking at a few of these free agents. He mentioned the same thing with Stephon Gilmore. But going back to the running back situation, you look at the free agent market, and it's going to be buzzing here in a couple of weeks whenever you look at the running back position. And then there's also really intriguing names here in Indianapolis. You talk about Jonathan Brooks from Texas, Bucky Irving from Oregon, Braylon Allen from Wisconsin. I mean, the list goes down. There's a lot of guys here in Indianapolis that would also fit the mold. It's just going to be what the scouting department sees as the best combination of two backs going into 2024. We know that the Cowboys would like to have two productive backs that they can alternate between. We'll see who those two backs are. It could really be a scattershoot at this point.
Now, out of that 25-minute conversation that we heard from Stephon Jones, and obviously great things that we heard, are there any concerns that you have with anything that he mentioned?
Yeah, I wouldn't say any concerns. I think one of the bigger headlines, though, was two headlines I'll give you. Leighton Vander Esch, he said that he was going to let Leighton Vander Esch speak to what his future could look like after suffering that neck injury against the San Francisco 49ers back in October. We'll see what his future could look like. It looks like it's going to be pretty soon. And then the second thing, he was also asked about Tyler Smith and if his future position is at left guard. He compared it to Larry Allen, a former All-Pro now that Tyler Smith's coming off his first All-Pro nod, and how he alternated between left tackle but eventually found his home there at left guard. And he kind of sees a similar future for Smith, but he said he didn't want to pin anything down. There's a lot still here to play out in the draft. I think with the tackle class that you have here in the NFL draft in 2024, you could draft a first-round tackle and keep Tyler Smith there at guard. But there's a lot of possibilities where you see him interchanging.
Yeah, I think for me, moving on now, you look at the culture of this locker room. That's something that Stephen Jones really talked about, how he loves the culture. It's probably the best that it's been. That's something that we also heard about from Dan Quinn as well. What do you think moving forward needs to change, if there is anything at all that needs to change in this locker room?
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's anything major. I think you have your pieces in place that are really respected voices in that locker room, and it starts with Dak Prescott. And I know there's a lot of outside noise about how Dak might be affecting the locker room and things of that nature as far as lack of postseason success goes. But when you talk to guys in the locker room, you talk to guys on the coaching staff, and then you talk to Dak Prescott, everyone kind of sees what that leadership brings. They all go where Dak goes. And I think that's a journey that they are comfortable going forward with over the course of the next few years, hence why there might be contract extension talks going on right now.
Well, we've got a lot of content coming for you over the next couple of days. Defensive linemen and linebackers talk tomorrow. That's Wednesday. We'll have all of that content for you. Who are you most excited about? You have to choose one.
I was just about to say, Nicole, you
one.
put me on the spot here. I'll give you one defensive lineman and one linebacker. Shout out to our cameraman, Alex Lilly, behind there. Tavondre Sweat from Texas. That's probably the defensive lineman I'll be looking for the most. 363 pounds. He brings this wide run-stopping frame. And then the linebackers, Peyton Wilson out of North Carolina State, the Dick Buckus Award winner from 2023. I want to see what he is able to come out with his medical reports. 2 knee injuries and a shoulder injury he suffered during his prep career. I want to see what those reports coming out of this week look like, and if they're positive, that's a really fun option there on day 2 at the linebacker position.
All right, make sure to follow us on DallasCowboys.com. We'll have all the content for you on YouTube and on all of our platforms as well. Nick Harris, Nicole Hutchison signing off. We'll see you guys tomorrow.